Another Bunchcast stream. Today's subject is vocality and the importance of you. Yeah, that's right, you, little yellow lemon fish, and why it's important for you to make little noises. No? Nobody?
No.
Only good as I make noises.
No noise.
Noises? Alright, well, welcome,
What
little...
do you want me to do noises and make the start of the stream immediately unbearable?
Yeah, I mean,
Do you want me to do that?
We don't have to.
That's my
Maybe a
job.
little.
It's just great. Alright,
No,
chat.
Fairman, when you do it, it's really, really shrill.
So today is an
Yeah, how else would
interesting...
they know?
An interesting subject, because when we covered Earth Defense Force, we didn't actually talk about this, mostly because I didn't want to focus on it, because I wanted to check to see if the game was even, good to begin with. And Earth
The
Defense
actual
Force,
game, not everything else.
Earth Defense Force 6 is good. And so
Yeah.
now we've moved on to the next subject, which is already pretty much over from what it looks like. So there's an announcement, and for context, Earth Defense Force 6 launched with requiring you to basically sign into your Epic account and link it to Steam. Now that's controversial because they didn't have that in the game, so people were kind of upsetty spaghetti about that, right?
They
Well,
wasn't
and
telling
they didn't-
anyone
they didn't-
about it.
They didn't immediately have it in the description of the Steam page.
Yep.
But they
But
added
they-
it like 5 seconds later when people started
Yeah.
noticing.
Like 5 minutes, I think, or something like that.
Yep. And so they've already responded on July 26th, which was yesterday. And this is also why I wanted to wait, because I didn't want to make a video right away about it because I had a feeling that more than likely this was going to get resolved. I just had that vibe because of how visceral the reaction was. But either way, important message. Thank you for your feedback on Earth Defense Force 6. The EDF 6 development team for Steam is reviewing and planning changes to the specifications that requires sign-in to Epic Games accounts, which has received the most feedback. At this time, we are unable to provide specifics on how much time this will take, but we will continue to work on it as we address the feedback we have received. So they're gonna, from the sounds of it, they're gonna remove it, which is good. But this is the importance of vocality. You notice how being extremely vocal in the beginning got results when people actually did something. Now, this isn't a huge issue because it didn't destroy the game outright, but it is one of those bits of misinformation, right, where they don't tell you the whole story about a game and then they try to pull a fast one on you, sort of like harkening back to Helldivers 2 with that other issue with Helldivers 2 requiring a Sony sign-in. Now, what's funny is that these sign-in things aren't particularly new. We have them for pretty much every game under the sun, and it's not like a deal breaker for most people. In fact, it's actually pretty common. Only recently have people actually started to react pretty angrily. Now, granted, in Earth Defense Force's case particularly, they didn't even tell you. But in Helldivers' case, they had it on the tin, and then people just sort of didn't really notice. But then like, oh, I can just say no. But despite the fact that, but then it's like, well, we're gonna turn it back on. So I'm curious, is if had it been listed beforehand, would we still have the same visceral reaction, or would people just be all right with it? Because that's the part that I'm wondering.
There would be bitching because people don't like Epic,
People
but there would be
always
less.
bitch, right? Like for example, because for me, and I dislike it too, because like we play a lot of well, not you.
Like, why should we have to sign in to a third party to fucking
That isn't
play
even
multiplayer?
needed.
Well, yeah, because like for example, if you have the Halo Master Chief Collection and you want to play Halo, you have to sign in to your Microsoft account. Period.
But at least that makes sense because that is a Microsoft game.
Well, you shouldn't really have to.
That's being
You should
placed on
have-
Steam is the
yeah,
problem with
Yeah,
that.
that is the problem.
It's
Yeah.
on Steam,
Yeah, but
Fairman. That's the issue.
you shouldn't really have to do it anyways. Like having these third-party launcher and software things is kind of just like these annoying little things, and I think that they're all kind of annoying. Like, and we shouldn't really have to deal with them at all. But what's interesting is that we only have visceral reactions from 2 cases in particular, while most go unanswered or ignored. Now, it's an interesting thing too, and I think the big spark in this for both Helldivers 2 and Earth Defense Force, I believe 100% the spark is related to the fact that misinformation, you feel betrayed, you feel lied to, which sparks that and ignites that visceral reaction where people get upset and angry. more than they would otherwise when EA does it, or when Microsoft does it, or when Sega does it, or when Paradox does it, or when Creative Assembly does it, because they all do it. They all do it.
Yeah.
Also, that it came fresh off the heels of the Helldiver thing, which definitely still had people a little bit touchy on the subject.
Well, no, this absolutely is happening because it wasn't revealed on launch that this is required. If this was always known that there was gonna have to be Epic account to play, people would have whinged and bitched in the forums, but we
Yeah,
wouldn't
they
have seen the
whinged.
review bomb.
I don't think it would have gotten as big as it did. To be honest, I waited for the dust settle. I didn't bother writing a review this time because it was pretty bad. Like, the game was so negative that it was like, the damage that was done the day of release.
Let's check the store reviews.
Now it is
It's a
shifting.
mix now.
Yeah, it's shifting back into the positive thing, and the big issue every time this happens is that a game never truly recovers in terms of reviews. Like, let's take a quick gander at Helldivers 2. Now, Helldivers 2 still has its own other problems. For example, the visceral reaction that sparked initially in Helldivers 2 was related to the Sony issue, which, to be honest and to be fair, was a minor issue, except for one key component. This component is still an issue to this day, but nobody talks about. It is the country ban. The country ban list is actually the real issue. Having to create an account and sign into something is annoying, yes. Do you have a right to be upset? Abso-fucking-lutely. Does anybody want to do it? No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to connect to my Epic account. I don't even like having an Epic account, to be honest with you. But there's a difference between having a sign-in account and having to sign into something and then not just outright, flat out banned from playing it because you were born in the wrong country. The country ban thing, for me, is a bigger issue.
Especially if you do it retroactively.
But what's interesting is that the bigger issue isn't actually the issue of actual people. It's the little tiny issue that sparks the visceral reaction, but not actually the real problem that actually maintains it. People forgot about it. There are still some reviews down here that actually talk about it, but the reality is that not anymore. Like, for the most part, people don't care about those countries that were banned. Don't care at all.
They also can flag reviews talking about that stuff as being off topic
I
in some cases.
No, those reviews are still in there. So it's not that they're flagged or off topic. They're still there. Because I have cursory glanced at it already. But again, vocality is important because vocality does mean that you can enact positive change. Like, for example, having the Epic thing looks like, and based on that announcement, it will be removed because of this post here. So that is, again, a case in point of vocality and its importance in the industry and its importance as a community and its importance as a consumer. It is something that people should be. Like, if you see something you don't like, don't be quiet about it. Make a little bit of a noise about it. Say why you're upset. Now, I do think that people went a little too overboard with this one. Like, they went to the point of like refunding like right away, and it's like, okay, well, the game's actually solid. A negative review is honestly going to do enough damage as is. Like, because I would honestly blame the publisher more likely. Like, D3 Publisher was probably the one that made the mistake than Sandlot. And I would also like to just wait for the information to actually come out, then jump the gun. Hence why I didn't want to cover it right away, because, I mean, still, this is actually a little too early because they haven't actually changed it. So still at its current point and juncture, if you are curious, Earth Defense Force 6 at the present still requires it. So if that is the reason why you're holding off on the game, then by all means, continue to hold off. The Real Hosner donates $5 say, I just want to be angry. I'm glad they gave me an excuse. You're just a grumpy little guy. See, being angry is fun, yes, but like, I do want to see like positive change in the industry and positive change for games that helps these games. Because Earth Defense Force 6 is a good game. You guys should get this game. If you like Earth Defense Force 5 or any other ones, this one adds more new monsters, more new stuff, polishes some things. If you just want more Earth Defense Force, this is more Earth Defense Force. It's what the EDF community wants as a game, without a doubt. However, the Epic thing was unnecessary.
Absolutely.
I do agree that probably was something more publisher related than necessarily Sandlot, which same thing with Helldivers. It's more Sony than Arrowhead.
Yep. We don't
But
really
the
know
problem is-
who made the decision. I know, but people jump the gun when it comes to certain things. So, like, for example, if everybody refunds like blank game made by X developer, then X developer will just poof. Because publishers do not need a reason to
The
pull the
publisher
plug.
doesn't disappear.
Yeah, the publisher
Yeah.
won't care. The publisher will pull the plug. The first one to pull the plug is going to be the publisher. And that's why I always urge caution on refunding. Like, if it's a serious issue and you think it's worth refunding, go for it, right? But to be cautious about it, because publishers don't really care. And if you look in the Arrowhead issue with Helldivers 2, and when we found out more information, it was Arrowhead who was on our side the whole time, trying to give us more rights and make the game more accessible for all of us. The developer was doing all the right things, and they were being a little cheeky about it, yes, but in the end it was all good stuff and it all resulted in a positive way, right? Which is good. But don't jump the gun, because at the end of the day, refunding isn't going to punish the publisher. What it will do is it will punish the developer. And by all means, if the developer needs a good old thrashing and a spanking, go for it. But that's why I always urge caution, because publishers, as time goes on, and depending on how the economy is doing and how their studios are doing, they're pretty quick to start pulling the life support for a studio. And once that studio evaporates, this is something I want to talk about that's important, because vocality is important. It is important to be negative. It is important to point out things you want to see changed. And you shouldn't not do that, by the way. You should do that always, no matter what. But why I urge it to be cautious with the refunding thing is because look at what happens when, like, Bullfrog goes out of business, or Lionhead Studios, or, Relic is struggling. If one of these studios vanishes and gets yeetoed off the internet and out of existence, what happens to that entire genre? It dies. It dies with them. What happened to Westwood and Victory Games? What happened to Command & Conquer? When that studio, Victory Games, disappeared, the entire franchise went with it. And once it goes, it's a dice roll if those publishers will ever let another studio make another game with it. Look at what EA's been doing with Black and White. Look at what Microsoft has done with Fable for so long. And by the time we get that Fable, God, it might just be fucking absolute detritus. Like, this is why I urge caution, right? Be vocal. Be angry, but be cautious. Because if we go too far with that, we could end up killing something we hold and care about dearly, right? We do want positive change. And that's why we should always be intelligent consumers.
This is why it's also important, if they change their practice, you shouldn't go, oh yeah, but I did this in the beginning. No, I'm never gonna do this.
Yeah, never do the too little too late argumentation with that.
Too little too late.
I mean,
Oh god, that's dangerous. So the big
Look at
thing
some-
is, when a studio starts to change and make positive changes and go in the right direction, like Creative Assembly with Pharaoh Total War Dynasties. Now granted, this particular case, Creative Assembly Bulgaria is going in the correct direction. Is it a good Total War? Is it a fun Total War? Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to fuck around in. But it's a step in the right direction, and it's a studio that doesn't have a lot of experience and needs more experience and feedback. And so give them that feedback. Give them that ability to learn and be like, yeah, you did this right, didn't like this. But don't just be like, you tried to turn around a game that was a disaster. Not too little too late. Like, the problem is, if we can do that, but when that company, when Creative Assembly inevitably steps in shit and one day disappears, if they disappear altogether, there will be no replacement. There is no one else. And what happens in the industry is other publishers and corporate executives look at that and saw the game tanked and like, oh, that's just not a stable genre. Let's not make games for that.
Well, there's that, but there's also the other negative consequence of they see that, okay, company tried to better the game, fan base still sped at them for it.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, so at that point, you're also telling them why bother reacting to feedback.
Now what's Command and Conquer? What has become of Command and Conquer? One of my childhood beloved franchises. It still exists. It makes more money now today than it ever did in the past. What is it now? It's a mobile game.
A very successful one, by the way.
That's what it's become.
Is it?
It's become a successful mobile game that makes apparently a shit ton of money. Yeah, we got replaced.
I mean, to be fair, we know that
that's disgusting. I know, but it's
You
the
know that is
sad,
what they want.
tragic reality.
That's what they
thing
want.
is-
They don't want their old fans. They want the new fans which have no standards.
Because
Hold-
remember,
hold on,
the
Fairman, it's not
publisher, because
all.
when the publisher pulled the plug on Victory Games, when they forced them to make CNC Twilight, this is why, as a community, and as the player base, we need to communicate with the developer. Because the developer, more than likely, not always, by the way, but more than likely, they want your money. These guys want our money. I'm pretty sure they want our money. I'm pretty sure they want to keep making games. Normally, right? And this is why it's important to communicate with them. Now, there is arrogance, there is incompetence, and there are points in which it is their fault, and they deserve to be yelled at. In case in point, Creative Assembly attack their own fandoms on occasion, attacks their own moderators, or not moderators, their moderators.
The modders.
Yeah, modders attacked. Yeah, they attacked the modders themselves, and they specifically harassed and singled out one particular modder because he made sexy women, and that was disgusting to see. That is bad behavior. That is their fault, not Sega's. That's their fault. In that case, in that instance, because we should always look at every case as an individual case. And in that particular case, that needed to be dealt with. Because that was a step too far. But this is why I think it's important to always keep your head in a rational mind. And it's not easy, right? Like, when I saw the Epic thing, I fucking rolled my goddamn little eyes at that. Because it's like, Earth Defense Force 6. It's an easy, successful title. Yet here it is, you know,
Shooting
just
itself in the leg.
shooting itself in the leg. It's the same with Helldivers 2.
Only that
Yeah.
EDF does not have the broad appeal like Helldivers, so their customer base automatically is a little bit smaller. Not just a little bit; it's a bit smaller. Cause just
Mm-hmm.
so, but I think that is mainly a thing because with a lot of the Japanese business works, and they're just okay. This is a PC release. It's mainly for the Westerners, and they don't really understand the Westerner market, and then they get firms. Oh, we know how to deal with the Western market. And the Westerners like this, and then you have some people in there that probably not really honest. Or Epic comes in. Oh yeah, no. In the West, yeah, you do this. Party account, and we offer you all of this, and they just okay if that's the thing the Westerners like. My money is that they probably got lied to, because many times that happens with Japanese companies that the people they hire for what's called the consultants just lie, or they have some kind of agenda, and then the Japanese just do that because if the Westerners like them, we give them that.
I mean, probably Epic approached them with
Yup,
like,
that's-
hey, we'll give you money to use our Epic account linking.
That's why I say the game was originally supposed to come out in February or so, and the delay probably because of that.
Maybe. There's a possibility. I would still wait and wait till dust comes out, because odds are information will come out. Realistically, the most important thing is the power of vocality, right? Which is the subject of today's little stream. And how it actually did change things. We have changed things with Helldivers 2. You do not need a Sony login for Helldivers 2 anymore. You do not need, well, you won't need an Epic login, because they're going to be adjusting that. So again, the power of vocality, right? And this isn't just isolated to these things. Pharaoh Total War, they started going back and trying to add more things that people want. Now, again, this isn't just like, oh, let's stop talking or stop communicating. This is why you should, when you write your review, Give your honest feedback. Tell people, tell the team, basically imagine they actually will read your review, right? Now, odds are probably not. But if they take a handful of reviews and all of those handful of reviews are written out thoughts and details about what you didn't like I didn't like this game because, I really wish they would have expanded the aerator mechanics more or something like that, as an example, right? But if you specifically state why, right? And if you look at a lot of the negative reviews down here, a lot of them are right down, even little pollinators here are down, and a lot of the ones in my friends list that wrote these reviews it's right down to the exact issue. It's requiring third-party software. Say it. Tell them what you don't like. Tell them what you want. I would like this a lot more. I would play this, or just don't require Epic. That's easy. Yeah, see, that's all you have to do. Even in a positive review, you can actually give that honest and good feedback there too. It doesn't necessarily have to be negative either. You don't necessarily have to participate in the review bomb if you disagree, but you still, with review bombs, but you still dislike that aspect, you can still put it there. There's nothing going to stop you. And nothing was learned from Helldivers 2. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You also need to, if they do change, like the issue you had, like they fix it, make sure to change your review.
Yeah, that's important too.
If you don't reward them for actually listening to feedback and just say no, fuck you, then they're just not going to bother listening to feedback anymore.
Yes, this is important because a relationship with a developer is a two-way street. Remember, they're people too, and they can be arrogant, they can be ignorant, they can also be stupid too, just like you, just like me. We're all human beings, and we're all fucking stupid.
Stupid it is most of the
So
time.
the big thing is that maintaining that line of communication. So, for example, when Helldivers 2 reversed the Sony login thing, I switched my review to positive. Now, a part of me kind of wishes that the community would have stuck with negative until Sony would have been basically bullied into getting rid of the country ban thing. But sadly, that fight is going to have to wait until they step in it again. We're just going to have to wait until they fuck up or something and some other
Sony,
game.
that's only a matter of time.
Yes, because Sony needs to, as part of making sure that everyone can play games and participate in games, is getting rid of silly things like country ban lists. Like what? Why is it banned in these countries? What? There's no real reason for it to be banned there. Unless the country themselves banned the game, right? Like something stupid like Australia. Australia's a dumb fucking
Or
country.
Germany, potentially.
Right? Germany's a dumb fucking country too. They'll sometimes just be like, this game has this West, we're banning it. Like what? It's a video game.
Oh no, this is a violent game. Oh no, our populace can't handle violence.
Yeah, stupid shit like that. Because at the end of the day, as a gamer, we want more people to get involved in becoming gamers, because the bigger the pool of people, the more money the industry generates, the more games we'll probably get in response to that. Now,
Kips,
that has its problems, but there also has its upsides, because there's no such thing as a net positive and net, like, totally absolute positive, right? The gaming industry expanding is another thing. We can make that a different topic. So let's save that for later. But yes, another example of a victory. Yet again, proven our point once more that yes, all you can do is just be vocal, and vocality is good enough. And if it's something serious, like a company is actually, like wokeified, right? So like they're politicizing their game and it's disgusting, like Suicide Squad, well then just don't buy it.
What was the other one that
You win.
covered a while back? Saints Row, yes. Saints Row.
Ooh.
Yep,
Ooh,
the
that one
new
was
Saints
big,
Row.
yeah.
You're like, again, bad game, easy fix. Just don't leave a negative review if you bought it, and if you played through it and you can't refund it. Refund it if you can, or just don't buy it like that. That like many people did. We only bought it for a stream, and even so, that pretty much, our stream alone made like a dozen people who were gonna buy it not buy it instantly when they saw what it was. It's funny how you can stream games and actually have a greater impact on people buying or not buying it by just simply streaming it, which is funny because you expose it.
And if you talk with people about it, you do want to make at least some kind of an argument that doesn't boil down to, oh, just don't buy it because it's bad, because that's for many people just, you're just a hater or whatever the word they use nowadays, and they will not take it serious. You don't need to have an in-depth argument, but you do want to have at least an argument that doesn't make you sound like you're just hating it for
Yes.
no reason.
The biggest thing is when you're trying to bring, now this, we've talked about this before. I don't think this is a particular issue, but it's a communication thing, right? Let's say you're trying to tell your friend about Earth Defense Force 6 and why you don't like the Epic thing, but they have an Epic account and they actually bought games on Epic and they just don't really understand. Don't get mad at them because they did something. Just simply explain that I don't really like Epic. I don't want to give my money and it's not for me. And they're like, okay, well, it's not for you. Fair enough.
Turns out I had an Epic account because someone forced me to play Fortnite. And apparently I have an Epic account because of that.
We can thank Chatfish for that. Bastards. They're
God,
evil. I don't think they'll ever do that again, though.
I think that, oh god. Fucking Fortnite, that
But
is
we can
not
play
for me.
Fortnite and see Peter Griffin fight Goku.
Ugh.
I mean, you can also play Modern Warfare 3 and see Nicki Minaj.
Now, back
see
on
bitch slapping Space
subject,
Marines,
right?
so-
So, when it comes to vocality, let's go through the various things you can do as a little chatfish about a game that fucks up and you don't like. The first and easy thing, upon Earth Defense Force 6 doing this, just don't buy it. There you go. The second thing you can do is, if you have bought it, is you can leave a negative review. And then you can just simply wait to see if the feedback will actually take root. The third thing you can do is you can just refund the game and then just buy it again later. And I would urge you, by the way, if you do the third option, if they correct the mistake and you actually like that game and you intend to buy it, do try to buy it relatively soon thereafter, because that shows up on the numbers and on the spreadsheets. Make it show so that the impact is actually visible.
Many times these people only look at the numbers and everything around. I don't even care that
Yes,
much.
because one of the big problems with Helldivers 2 is, while some of the issues were fixed, and there's still some issues I want to point out, is that a lot of people didn't fix or update the reviews for like months and still haven't. And that's bad. That's bad because you need to really incentivize, like a dog. You must train them, right? You need to incentivize good behavior. It's like, you did a good, you get a little ear scratchy, you know? Things like that. And I know it may sound demeaning to developers, but you do have to treat them that way. Ian says, I actually made an Epic account to play the newest Unreal Tournament before Fortnite was out. I ended up making an Epic account just to cover some games because they would come to Steam eventually. I don't recommend Epic, but I mean, if you use it and you like it, I know some people do. It's just not for me. I don't like the idea of their business model of buying games out to be exclusive on their storefront. I think that is a coward's way of dealing with this, and it
also provides perverse incentives to game devs, because then they're not selling to customers, they're selling to a storefront.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a risk to tamper with stuff like that. Now that does not mean that Epic money has not actually produced some good games. Like, we have seen that actually in the case of Stardock's products. For example, Sins of Soul Empire 2, not possible. With the Epic money, they were able to get the development started, and then they're now going to put it on Steam. So they use the money to kickstart the project. Again, if it works, it works, right? So in that case, I've kind of made myself more lenient, because I see that, you know,
There is a reason to do it.
there is a reason from a developer standpoint to do this.
I mean,
if
it
you are
also
strapped
depends.
for cash.
It also depends on how you take the deal. If you do what they did with Anno, where, oh, we're selling it on Steam, oh, we got money, we're no longer selling it on Steam, get banned. Or if you go, you know what, we from the very beginning went for Epic, there's a difference there.
Yeah. Also, in regards to they got the deal, so they were able to make the game. I'm pretty sure that would be for Chivalry 2 as well, and that's a fantastic game, I think. That only exists because of the Epic deal.
Oh, Chivalry 2. I don't really know much about that one, but I do know that the Sins thing I know about. And so I'm like, okay, well, actually in practice, Epic can be used for good things if developers do it, but not in all cases. Because there have been cases where that hasn't happened. Also, welcome to stream, little Devinator. Oh, my bro.
Hello, Canadian.
Everyone's just derogatory because of nationality. Regrettable.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not the
You can't
spicy.
help being a disgusting Canadian.
I know it's not the spicy takes that he has that the reason they hate him. It's because he's Canadian. That's the actual.
Yep.
If he was just born a little bit south.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they would be
Then
nicer
he'd,
to
then he'd
him.
be all right.
I'm
be
pretty
okay.
sure they would be a lot nicer to him if he
But
gives
Kib,
more feed pics.
You're basically Canadian, living in Minnesota.
Don't you dare say
Yeah,
that to me.
But
I'm an
no,
American.
basically, but he's just
That's like calling me an N-word.
South enough
That's like
to not be
calling me
Canadian, so it's okay.
You
It's a
N-word.
C word, Canadian. You see, every Canadian I know wants to be something else. Like Gunny, Jabrow, they want to be French.
They want to be, yeah, because they're Quebec. They hate being Canadian. They want to be French. But yeah.
I'm pretty sure Indians would prefer to be Canadian.
Mhm.
Well, who would want to be Indian?
So,
Mm.
when it comes down to it, one of the things I think I'm looking forward to is we're going to keep our ear on the ground. Unless they say nay, they're not going to do this. I'm going to go on a limb and say that, yeah, it looks like they're going to rescind the policy, which is good, So for those who are waiting to buy this, keep your ears tuned to the news when it comes to Earth Defense Forces posts. It might take them a while to do it because they're going to have to get their coders to untangle it because it is entangled with all their stuff.
I don't think it is. So now here, little
Well,
story time.
Fair
Apparently, people.
I'm pretty sure it's entangled because, like, you can't even boot the game up in single player without fucking hooking it in.
Yes, but I think that may be relatively easy because extra multiplayer, because people shut down Epic while playing multiplayer, and that did not affect the multiplayer capabilities.
Yeah, but it's still in the code, so
Yeah.
somebody's gonna have to go
Yeah.
through it, remove it, test it, because you don't want to find out that it's tied to something like integral, and then by removing the code for it, all of a sudden it just breaks something.
Mm.
Because that I don't know. I don't know if it was just like, haphazardly added on in spaghetti code. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Earth Defense Force is spaghetti code.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Because the game looks
Yeah.
kind of janky. I love this game, but this game
I
is
mean,
janky
this one
looking.
is as polished as I ever seen because it is surprisingly polished with the movement and everything. There's a lot less jank this time around.
So when it comes to Sandlot's games, right? When it comes to all the Earth Defense Forces, every single one of them has been an improvement on top of each other. So long as specifically, if it was produced by Sandlot.
And a lot, yeah.
The other company, no, not so much.
Iron Rain, no.
Yeah, the spin-offs do not count.
I think World Brothers is supposed to be pretty decent, but that one goes a little bit more in a.
That one's a
I don't even
mobile, I
know.
thought.
No, that's on PC.
There's a voxel-based one, isn't there?
That is World Brothers.
That is World Brothers?
I think Dev
I
became
haven't-
drunk when he came here. Dev, you better be drinking water if you're intoxicated. He's acting all funny.
Also, I wish to point out Yinglis just proved that what I said was right because he disagreed with me. That means I'm right.
That's true.
He also proclaims to be part Canadian.
Eh?
Exactly.
Who claims to be part Canadian?
Draconis.
Or I'm misreading that.
No, he
Damn.
doesn't. He-
It's like Draconis
Sucks.
realizes
Imagine being Canadian.
that's that's so mean. That sucks. Sorry about your heritage, bro.
I can't imagine that. I'm sorry. Like, Jesus Christ.
You're Canadian? Oh.
Fuck.
Disgusting.
This
Fuck,
explains so
man.
much.
Like,
Can't imagine a disability like that.
Not a name, not a number, not alive. That's a long fucking name. He says, I don't know. Iron Rain was alright. Had some cool ideas. Definitely shook the formula up, though. See, the problem with all the Earth Defense Force knockoffs is they do try to shake things up, and they're made by other studios, but they sort of mess up the formula, right? What's the formula of what makes Earth Defense Force good? And you have to ask yourself,
Go in, have spectacle, blow up shit, get guns, rinse and repeat, but enjoy yourself.
well, it's also that, but it's also like different enemies require different toolkits, right? So flyers, there's a lot of weapons in this game that are not viable. Like when you make certain
90%
builds.
is the wing diver arsenal.
Yeah, like
Just wait for them to get closer.
a
it's
lot of
fine.
your arsenal,
Yeah.
if you're fighting flyers and the mission says flyers are going to be a problem, like half of your arsenal is now obsolete. So
Hips, wait, no, sometimes it all says there's definitely no flyers, then you extra bring flyers. Because remember, fucking mission description sometimes. Oh, this is gonna be an easy mission. It's the hardest mission in the game.
Yeah. Rule of Draconis, Fairbear. I'm allowed to be right at least twice a day.
thing is, when it came to Iron Rain, when it came to 2025, those are the two, I think, knockoff titles, right? And then there's some spin-offs. But the two titles that were made by different studios. 2025 was the first one. It was called like Armageddon or something. And then Iron Rain was the second one that came out after that. The big thing about Iron Rain, if I remember right, was its microtransaction policy was pretty bad. Now, there is a microtransaction policy here. And this part is just, I find this kind of like, ugh. It's like, oh, you just did a bunch of DLC weapons and like equipment. I don't like shit like this. This is kind of annoying. Like, if you're gonna do anything content-wise for Earth Defense Force, I would much prefer it to be an expansion. Being like, this is like a new expansion. The Earth Defense Force is now invading the aliens through their dimensional portal. Okay, that's cool. You know, something like that. And then it adds weapons and new enemies and stuff like that, like as an expansion pack. Like if you're gonna do expansions, I personally think this should have been baked into the game.
Shadow of a New Revenge.
Now, to be honest, you don't need any of this shit, by the way. As somebody who plays EDF, and if you're new to EDF as a franchise, this shit, you don't need any of that
Most
garbage.
of it is more novel. Yeah, you think most
Most
of
of it
that
is
stuff
crap.
gets what's the word?
Most of it's obsolete, actually, when
Yeah.
you get to late game anyways.
Yep.
Also, I don't know if that is relevant, but looks like D3 recently got acquired by Bandai Namco. Maybe that plays into some of those decisions.
D3 who got acquired by a
Oh
bigger
yeah, it even
publisher?
says Bandai Namco.
Yeah, yeah.
at
In
the
the
top.
yep, in the intro.
They are
screen.
interesting. Bandai Namco. Now, Bandai Namco. It's a name I recognize, but I don't buy their games a lot. Oh god, their games are so special.
They don't really do much for PC.
They make a lot of games, chat. D3
Well, they don't-
publisher.
they don't make anything. They just publish games.
I mean, they publish them. Like Mech Wars. Oh god, that looks special. Like, a lot of their games don't look like games that I
Really
would.
good.
I
Oh,
would
that
buy.
game that's just the mobile game ads, but an actual game.
But an actual game.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
the,
Iron
yeah,
Rain.
that you want those games.
Never played Iron Rain. Only watched reviews of it. Mostly because I like Sandlot. Okay, they make the best bad games I've ever played in my life. They're good bad, if that makes sense. Like, they look bad, but that's intentional. That's, I feel like
They look ugly by design.
they look really autistic, and yes, they are. But it's like definitely worth.
No,
paying.
our game and setting is supposed to be very serious, not satire and just absurd at all. It's 100% serious setting.
Honestly, I think the English dub is like funny as hell. in this
Oh,
game.
it's the English is the
Oh
amazing
my
in
god.
EDF.
See, your commander guy. I'm not sure. I think the guy's actually a very good voice actor, but he's hamming it up. I love the guy. So, even though 90% of his dialogue is what? Oh no!
What?
They look just like humans.
or just everyone in this universe is at least partially brain damaged.
So, Bandai Namco. All right. So, is Bandai Namco a publisher that is respected? Question mark. I mean, publishers
No.
respected in the modern era is a funny word.
No publisher is.
Not a name, not a number, not alive. Yeah, D3 isn't doing so hot. Their mech game was super mid. As for Bamco, they're basically one of the bigger Eastern publishers, and they suck. Anime licensed games, it's Bandai, and it's awful.
Oh boy. So what we might see is, well, the thing is, so long as Sandlot stays true to their course, and as long as Earth Defense Force 6 does better, like as soon as they implement that feature, people who are holding off buy the game. And when they do what you want, buy the game, – you know, pause review, and encourage other people to buy the game, that would be good.
Yeah,
That would be good. 'Cause, like, as long as Sandlot stays true to their course, and as long as Earth Defense Force 6 does better, like as long as Sandlot stays true to their course, and when they do what you want, buy the game, pause review, and encourage other people to buy the game, that would be good. because then that will get people to come back to it. Because even under bad publishers, all right, let's talk about a bad publisher real quickly. Ubisoft. I think it's universal. I don't think many people are going to disagree with me that they're a bad publisher. They're pretty bad. However, there are game studios that have thrived under Ubisoft. Not very many. And to case in point, Blue Byte. Blue Byte is the creators of Anno. They have done a fantastic job with the Anno franchise, while Ubisoft is doing what Ubisoft does, which is make very, very popular games, like the modern Assassin's Creed games, do incredibly well. But for most of us more hardcore gamers, it's not for us. Because they've taken a franchise and they've made it mainstream for the casual audience. It's a... what's the term? Robin said it to me the other day.
Casualization.
It's not casualization. It's like when you make something and it's meant for, it's like the spectacle. It's like you play it for the experience, like the visual experience. Before I blow my brains out. But that's why. And so that's like the idea, right? Is that they play it like, oh, you know, the college kids can play it because it's cool. It's a cool experience or something like that.
Oh, the trend?
No, it's not the word. One of you chatfishes definitely know what I'm talking about. I don't remember there's an actual word for this sort of description. They even use it themselves in advertisement material, and other companies do that. Talking about the
Video
visual
game
experience.
gentrification.
No, it's a buzzword used by the industry. It slipped my tongue.
Cinematic.
Yeah, sort of like that. Like it's a cinematic experience. That's why like the modern Assassin's Creed games sell really well. Like Valhalla did really well, from what I heard. I thought it was boring because it had no like actual gameplay mechanics. Like it was very shallow. It was very... Theme park rides? No, theme park rides aren't inherently a bad thing. That's what an MMO usually is. MMOs are what we call theme park games. Gunfox has become a disciple of Squick. Thank you for your support, Gunfox. I appreciate it. And the chatfish salute you. Yeah, 23 of my friends own this game already. Damn.
Bandwagon? No.
No, I think cinematic experience is probably the best way of putting it. It's not the word I'm looking for, but it very much encapsulates what modern studios are trying to make. Like the new Star Wars game Outlaws looks more like for a cinematic experience. Because gameplay-wise, I looked at the gameplay trailer, and we are slated to stream that on launch. And man, I can tell you right now, I'm not looking forward to streaming that.
I can guarantee you, just so you know, it's just everyone, just think about it. It's an Ubisoft open world game. Now think about what
it's going to be very formulaic, yes.
Very formulaic. There is not going to be much. Nah.
Did I mess with the YouTube ranks? No, I didn't. I haven't actually touched them since they were made. That's why if you see any typos in there, they're still there. You mean movie games like Telltale? Kinda, but Telltale isn't quite that. Telltale was trying to go for basically okay, so that's another conversation. The evolution of point and click. Point and click games you may not see them around anymore, but that's because they simply changed. They evolved. They changed into different things. They're more like interactive stories. That detective game we played the other day, what was it called?
No One Wants to Die.
No One Wants to Die. That is a point and click game. That is what point and click games became. There was another new Star Wars game coming out. Yes, and it's called Bounty Hunter. It looks really good. Oh, just kidding.
Now.
This actually does look good. I've picked it up because I intend to stream it because I've never played this.
Isn't that one old?
It is old.
Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty sure that's a remake.
Oh,
remaster.
you wanted to know an actual new Star Wars game. I thought you were asking about like a good one. Oh, so
No.
the new one is Star Wars Outlaws is coming
We
out.
only take trash here,
Outlaws,
kids.
yes.
Yeah.
Outlaws, Bounty Hunter, that all just blends together.
See, Bounty Hunter is the old one that looked really cool as a kid, but I never got to play it. So, I'm looking forward to trying it. I like Telltale interactive novels. I like interactive novels too. I just wish that interactive novels would be more... I wish Telltale wouldn't have lied. So Telltale, the big reason with them is that they lied and tried to be like, your decisions matter. Well, they do matter, yes, to a degree.
For one episode.
Yes, for the subsequent episode, and that's about it.
or like the next immediate thing that happens.
or the end. And so it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so it's very compartmentalized. And nobody wants to die. I only played one ending, and we got, I'm not going to spoil what we got. So either, because I actually recommend Nobody Wants to Die if you want to check it out. That's a good interactive story game.
It actually does look a lot better than the store page makes it seem to be.
But Nobody Wants to Die?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nobody Wants to Die is pretty good. I also recommend for people who do not die, says Blake. Wow.
Yeah.
Bounty Hunter is old as sin. Oh my god, how young are you?
Older than me.
See, I remember that game as like a little kid, and I remember seeing it come out for the PS2.
I actually remember playing.
But I didn't get it.
You're talking about Bounty Hunter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember playing that on GameCube.
Like our dad says, Bounty Hunter is made by the people who made the Battlefront remake.
Yeah, Asper. Now,
Is it
Asper has been
made or is it
continuing.
remade by them?
Well, it's they touched it up a lot. Okay, we're not gonna delve into it too much because it is off topic. But I mean, it's a podcast. What are podcasts for if not to be off topic? I keep thinking that this is gonna be structured, but I need to
No.
give up. So I need
We're the
to.
Bickering bunch, kids. We don't do structure.
We
We do
have-
random
We
rams.
pick
rants.
So,
And then when we try to,
oh
all
yeah,
of a
this
sudden,
comes up quick. So,
It happens.
Bounty Hunter, yeah, they touched up. People are saying they touched up the camera and the lighting, because the lighting is a lot different. Now, Asper has a mixed track record. They've done. I actually got a lot of trust in this company because they did pretty good. Oh, they actually did the Tomb Raider remaster. Interesting. Wait, am I looking at Asper? Okay. They must have done like the porting of that to mobile or something. Yeah, because they did a good job with Stop the Zombie. This is an obscure action game that was made on the Halo engine, and the only other game made on the Halo engine. And it's obscure as fuck, but I really like it. It's like a novel game where you play a zombie and infect people. But apparently they've done some other work. I was actually looking for their other things. Okay, come on. Like, some of the stuff I'm not entirely sure your involvement of. Maybe they were handling porting. Like, they ported Jedi Knight and Jedi Academy and Old Republic to consoles and stuff. And they also ported Republic Commando. They ported Pod Racer and a bunch of other things. Asper is a porting company. They got overly ambitious, though, and tried to do more, bit off way more than they could do with Knights of the Republic. And they got overly ambitious with a lot of other things. And they fucked up and botched the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection relaunch. Like, they botched it pretty hard. Like, even now, like, they've released patches for it and to try to fix it. And, like, some things are better, but, like, you're still kind of almost better off getting the original version of Star Wars Battlefront 2 because of the mods alone. The mods alone are what really carry it. And so it's like, ah, damn. And I think that's because
fucked up too badly.
yeah, they've Asper's fucked up two big things recently that I can think of. Knights of the Republic is the first thing. Knights of the Republic, Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. Yeah. So that's two big fuck ups. Like, oof. Back to back. So they kind of burned a lot of their goodwill and a lot of confidence I had in them because they did do a pretty good job before. Like, another porting company have confidence is Feral Interactive. Feral Interactive is another porting company. They have ported a lot of things that I would never have thought could be ported to things, but yeah, Rome 1, Medieval 2, Company of Heroes, Tropico, bunch of other games like some racing car games, they ported them all to mobile. And then they did enough good porting work that they were actually entrusted with the Rome 1 remaster. And they actually did a pretty good job of uplifting that game. Like, it's got better camera, better optimization, doesn't lag, a lot of improvements. They did mess up like the UI and things, but overall, ignoring that, they did a pretty good job. That's why I still hold Feral Interactive into high regard as far as porting company, and I hope that they keep doing a good job, because as that studio builds more experience, it'd be nice to see them port more games like Medieval 2, or maybe be even given the mission of remastering it, because they have so much experience with the code.
Aristocratic Cthulhu says Asper apparently censored the Tomb Raider remake.
Is that so? I didn't know that.
It keeps getting worse.
This deal just keeps getting worse.
This deal gets worse all the time. Well, that's tragic. Yeah, wasn't there some like sexy shots of Tomb Raider? Now it seems to be pretty well received, all things considered. If you like the originals, don't bother with this version. If you've never played the originals, this is probably alright for what it is. The new controls are so bad, it kills the fun. I had like one of these on the Sega Saturn, and I remember it controlling like a fucking potato. So, I mean, that must be pretty bad.
Blake says they restored some of it.
Oh, they started restoring it? So they responded to feedback? Hmm?
He also saying that Battlefront is half the size as it was on launch.
Yeah, no, I
They
did
might
see
have
that too.
compressed.
They did actually compress the data of Battlefront 2, because at launch, Battlefront Collection was 60 gigabytes. 60 gigabytes.
Which is just what? Why?
That is, yeah, incompetence. That's
Well,
literally what it is.
50, so they got it down by like 10. But I assume that's uncompressed. I just don't know how they have a hard time compression. Because for our project, I'm pretty sure that doing it's actually pretty easy. Can I post link? Posted a link.
Tomb Raider 1 and 3 remastered undoes inadvertent censorship.
Inadvertent.
So it was accidental.
Okay.
They
Yeah,
accidentally censor something and it's like,
They
oh,
accidentally removed things.
Okay, so it was an accident. I mean, considering
Well,
the
that's
recent
what they're
fuck-ups, I could
saying.
believe it was an accident. Gibbs, have you heard about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate? Teenage Mutant Ninja.
Is that the new show?
It's a video game.
Okay.
No, I have not.
Oh, that one. I
Oh.
saw that a while back.
That looks kind of cute. It's a twin stick from the looks of it. Sort of beat 'em up. Yeah, that could be cool. We'll have to add that to the list of things, because we don't really get like games like Castle Crashers or like the sort of like sort of side scroller beat 'em
Arcadey.
ups. Yeah, arcade games. Like that's sort of a genre that died with the arcades, more or less. And anytime I see a game like that, it's actually really cool to see. Because I remember going to the roller skating place in St. Cloud. There was a skating park area where you could roll around this little thing. And that building, I don't know if it's still open since COVID or whatever, but like is over. But it looked like the 90s. Like even the arcade games in there were from the 90s. Really, really old. That's an era that I always thought was cool. But I grew up at the tail end of, because I was born in 94. So it was already on and out the door. So finding places like that was like rare. And nowadays it's even rarer. What do you think about Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn? I heard that Sweet Baby Inc. was involved with it, so I don't think much of it. I was actually looking at it and I was kind of interested until I heard that. And then I also heard that the game released to being a wet fart. It's
The
called
game trailer for it looked.
Flintlock.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I saw this being announced. My first reaction was,
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of reviews. It also looks
and the fact
kind
that it's
of.
already released and it's just such a wet fart. Yeah.
It kind
You
of.
know what? That's not even a wet fart. That's a
It
dry fart.
reminds me of that game Bespoken.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Oh.
Because Bespoken was really bad.
Oh, I'm recognizing Flintlock now. Oh,
I don't want to look at it anymore, so I'm just gonna close
Okay.
it.
Also, hello. Hello,
Or
Beamer.
Forspoken. I thought it was Bespoken. I can't remember. Honestly, it was so uninteresting. I didn't want to.
I'm pretty sure it was
Square Enix's next try at making a new game, and then he fucked it up again.
Stallcraft Axe?
Stallcraft.
Oh, what?
Ah, I think I know that one. That is the heavily Stalker-inspired.
Stalker-inspired Minecraft is what this is, in case you're curious. To satiate your
I
curiosity.
did hear
it's
it's
an
good,
The
but
picture
more-
made me think it was like trying to like copy StarCraft or something.
No.
No.
So, this game is styled after Minecraft, but is actually just Stalker, but an MMO instead. It's free to play. I think it's. I thought it looked
Oh.
pretty interesting, but it was just, you know.
I mean, it's not received negatively. And the idea of
has
it
its
is
player
cute.
base.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's just fucking cute looking.
I think they just ripped some of the monsters from Stalker too.
Open world of the Chernobyl.
So just keep watching the trailer and you'll see them.
Yeah,
Speaking of Stalker, guess what got another which game just got another delay?
Let me guess, Stalker.
Stalker 2, yeah.
I
I think
wonder
it's
why.
just a month, but hey.
Yeah, speaking of arcade games, I know
The trailer
about you
does.
guys,
Oh, go ahead, Bino.
but whenever I pass by an arcade in a mall or something, and I look at it, and there's some very interesting arcade game there, I'm like, man, I'm too old to go there, so I just leave them. But I'm
Just be
looking
that
there.
creepy guy that's like, 35 years old going to the place that like 15
Oh,
year olds do.
Yeah.
How are you doing, fellow kids? No, wait, sorry. How do you doing, fellow kids?
No, I will
Make
be
sure to
the-
wear a shirt that's much too small as well.
I will be the guy that would like pay for 2 machines, so that I couldn't have the kids near me. To annoy me, yeah. There was like a undead pirate shooting game on the mall today, and I was like, man, that looks cool as fuck. There was this Jurassic Park game back in the arcade that I used to play as a kid.
Oh, the
That
shooter?
you would, yeah, it was a shooter that you would get inside like a little cabin that would simulate like one of those carts that they had in the movie, right? It was very fucking cool. Like it was one of those railroad shooters.
Yep.
I once, me and a friend went there. We found a hobo sleeping there. I was like, man, I want to play this game. So we called the guys from the arcade and they kicked the hobo out so we could play.
Wow. Hello, kids. Have you checked out CNC Legion? It's a plagiarism nightmare. I mean, look at the GDI infantry model and tell me that's not copy-paste example there. I mean, you can feel free to shoot me a DM with it, but like, to be brutally honest, I haven't looked at CNC Legions because I quite frankly have no interest in playing
Is that horrible one that just... Oh god, I think I know which one that is. That's that horrible one I showed you that just... the Red Alert 2 one that has GDI stuff in it. You just go and Red Alert and... Oh god.
This trailer goes for a while. They're
Yeah,
just showing
they
up every
do jump.
location.
But it could be interesting. I just have reservations about survival crafty MMO.
From what I know of it, it's not actually survival crafty. It's Stalker, just in the Minecraft graphics, so they can have so many players. Which also means that you are basically in the wilderness from RuneScape the entire time. So a player can't just run up and kill you to take your shit.
Yeah, that just sounds more annoying than anything, though.
Well, it's not for you. That's the important fact of the matter.
That's
This is
what
not.
I'm saying.
This
Wow,
game is
it's not for you either, Squealy. Fuck you. He's like,
Okay.
"Mm."
No, let me phrase it, because
All right, so moving on. Yeah, that's right.
Never mind
No,
then.
yeah, fuck your phrase.
no one cares.
You sweetie, you sweetie.
No
Shut
one
up, Pino. No one
cares.
cares about you either.
No, I care about what you have to say. Everyone but
I don't.
But Squid. Damn.
Ah, yeah, I got 4 burgers for $9 today.
You fat little sow. Nobody cares.
Wow, immediately going back on what you said.
I'm now Kiblander. I'm that scene from that dumb show that I've never seen, where I go up to him and I'm like, "You fat piece of shit," as he's like stuffing, like he's got a little shake or something. Like I grab you by your head. What did you say? Apologize. And you're like, "I'm sorry." And that's you being him. Me
don't even
abusing
know what-
you. Me abusing you.
I got Burger King. It's horrible. It's one of the worst burgers, but it is what it is. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing with the class.
You dare say the king of burgers is bad?
The
You
Burger
dare
King's
say
gonna
that
fuck
Steve's
you,
really
you know that, right?
Bad at making burgers.
He fucked Wendy. I've seen the art for him.
There's no Andy where I live.
No, Indy. Indio actually lives in your state. Or country, or whatever. Or country.
East country.
Indy
I wish
lives
Steam
in-
would let me
India's
fill a
Wendy's.
box on why I'm ignoring games because I know my petty reasons would bother the fuck out of developers.
Mhm.
I don't think.
That is what I talked about earlier. You need to at least manage to contain yourself to some degree with
What you do
that's something.
is you buy the game, you leave a petty review, and then you refund the game.
Yeah, that is exactly what you don't do. That doesn't work.
You're just gonna get ignored if you do that. Like, if you give actual feedback. So again, to reel back the conversation, back to where we were starting, when it comes to giving feedback on a game, the important thing to do is to, Genghis donates $20, say, play Chica Dance, please. No, cannot, and will not, so I do not get my money taken away. That's why I had this music specially made by our composer. This is literally just music from our game, but turned into lo-fi. It's all just terrestrial music, but lo-fi.
Right, Moogie.
See you, Moogie. Take care.
Bye, Moogums.
Sleep well.
We can play the Chica Dance thing later, Genghis, in the next stream. Just remind me there, okay? Little Genghis guy. He's like, well, Genghis guy's gonna forget by then. It's like, okay. Okay, forget him by.
I liked it when he screamed last night. It was funny.
Your Majesty.
Why? Oh, so last night, Reguline's bullying Genghis in chat. Like, Genghis is sitting there being, you know, Genghis, doing Genghis stuff. And, like, he posts something and he's happy doing his little Genghis routine. And then Reggie decides to delete it. And so that sparks Genghis to react by going, why?
My God, why?
He
kinda
was
funny.
so upset. I loved it. I wish he kept doing it so I could delete more. But he just didn't want to react anymore.
He knew that what you wanted. Okay. Well, stream Vulpus. But yeah, so when it comes to feedback, I mean, we might as well tackle all the subjects today because I don't think I'll be talking about it later. So Helldivers 2 also announced some pretty big news. They're canceling the game. No kidding.
Rip.
Nice.
Just like,
Well, it had a good run.
So escalation of freedom is a new thing. Fuck it, yeah. The bunch cast should be all gaming news, not just one subject. Dumbass Kip. All right, so
Yeah, dumb.
the big thing that they're doing here is that they're showing us little Swedish people, you know.
Gotcha.
But they've added some new mission types. They're gonna make a lot of mission types. There's one where you pick up a bug and it screams and you have to carry it back, but it screams the whole way.
Funny.
Nice.
The other thing is that they've got these new tendrils that come out of the ground enemies, and they'll try to
Yep.
cut off your escape.
That's a Helldivers 1 enemy they brought back.
Yep.
That boy.
All these Swedish people.
Ethical boy.
New big fucking, what do they call them? Hulks? No, not Hulks. The Chargers. There's also some Charger mutations as well. And there's more enemies for all different types, which is cool. Like this is a Spore Charger, and wherever it goes, it makes a cloud, so you can't see it. So it hides in it. Again, they're actually starting to experiment with the mechanics of the game, which is good, game design-wise.
So the funny thing is they kind of had that, where if you remember the big bile bugs, the ones that spit acid at you, like they had that cloud follow them.
Yep. New
Yeah, but
enemy
now it's on a
vehicles for the robots. They're giving us an MLRS tank to fight, and it launched rockets to wreck fire, and it also launches rockets over the edge of things. So if you're hiding, it'll try to bombard you. Again, a lot of really cool enemies. I'm hoping that you can actually shoot those down because they're so big.
That would be neat.
There's also a new Brood Commander. You can see the silhouette of it in the horizon there. Bigger, nastier.
I kind of wish they.
Does he
made
have
the-
a Florida tattoo?
What?
That guy, I think he had a tattoo of Florida.
Where you look at a man's body?
Yeah, weird.
Because he's on the screen.
They've also made bases bigger so that they're more chunkier on the map, which is cool. There's a picture
He
of him
was
carrying
holding
a
the
skull.
skull. Yeah.
Yep, maybe got to capture it and return it or something, like brain.
Extract data from it.
But yeah,
Yes,
all
nice
in all,
balance when they were from the first game.
they're adding more interesting like weather effects and environmental things. They talk about just trying to increase the amount of content to the game, which again is good. And these more bigger style patches, so just more enemies. Now, I'm hoping that they've now had time to train the people that they've hired to help them with the game because they've expanded their team. So that way we get more content pumped out. But I think that we're going to start seeing a lot bigger content coming to the game and less of these little tiny patches, which would be good. Because drip feeding is like torture and agony. I think Chatfish agree.
Now
No?
imagine
Maybe.
if we're capturing these little bugs,
They
and then
squeal.
later down the line, you get domesticated,
I
terminated.
saw him
Yes,
killing
that's
that
Wow.
actually, so we're capturing these things, but yes, I would like the ability to call in like a pet terminid. That would be so cool.
Oh, it's gonna be like Deep Rock Galactic, where you see that thing and oh my god, shoot it! Oh no, wait.
Yeah, and I fucking yell at you for killing my fucking bug.
Isn't he called Steve or something in DOG?
Yeah.
Steve, yeah.
Yes, he has an outline and everything, so I don't get why you people keep thinking he's an enemy bug.
I just hate Steve.
Don't worry, I hate you
You're
too.
a bad person, Rapier.
Hatred of bad people aside.
Hopefully they added the feature of swimming.
Never. They'll
No.
never add that.
You must sink in the 3 feet of water and drown.
Well, yeah. So I think we're going to start seeing the effects now starting to sweep in from all the people that, you know, bought the game. But the game has like so much money that it wouldn't matter if nobody fucking played or bought it again. They can complete it development wise because of how much fucking money they've made. It's not even funny.
I feel bad for Salah when the update drops.
My max level gone forever.
It's not his max level's gone. It's that he's gonna be gone grinding, little boo. Yeah, so we have until February 8th. Or not February 8th, that's when this game came out. What the fuck? Wait, did it come out next month, the patch? Oh shit, that comes out actually quick, doesn't it? Hold on a second. Did they say in here?
I'm pretty sure it's August. It's coming out.
Oh shit, it's next month. God damn
I
it.
want bikes in the game. Until I have my bikes, I'm not coming back.
I do want my suicide mobile. The bikes.
August 6th? Oh no.
That's really soon.
Don't you tell me you're fucking doing another thing at the same time as another guy. Okay.
That's Tuesday.
Yeah, you dodged a bullet.
2 weeks.
I hate when students like, let's just dump all the games you're interested in the same day. Now pick which one you have to stream. Like, nah.
It's kind of like
Nick
kinda
Gibbs
like
does a
how-
1 hour stream for each game. Great.
it's kind of like how last month 2 Metroidvanias with Foxes dropped nearly the same week or something, and one was good and the other was bad. So the other
Which
got
one, what were they? Beanos.
they were Metroidvanias with
What
one
were they
was
called?
Fox-
What are the names? You
Nine.
piece of shit.
Shut up. 9 Souls was the good one, and the other one was Path of the Lost or something, the bad one.
Never heard either of these.
I think they're both Chinese games, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I think I
No,
recognize both of those names.
I Chinese, I'm not sure, but I do know
Chinese
that they have
themed. At
they are
least.
China Boo games. Yeah, that.
I need
much
you to
know.
say China more, Bina.
China.
China.
You know, say it correctly. China.
China.
Thank you.
He hasn't said his catchphrase yet either.
Yeah, you need to
It's
do
not
that.
my catchphrase. Because it's not my catchphrase. It's you guys are gaslighting people. Oh yeah, he says
Yeah,
it.
you
He's got a
always goes me
catchphrase, yeah.
Bino.
Me Bino. Like, it's not your catchphrase. It's just, you just so happen to do it.
I think closing Albina to a catchphrase is very weird and or more erotic commentary.
If I get mod on Discord, so I can change.
I'm never
everything,
modding
I
you,
will-
Bino. I can't trust you.
I'm never modding you. Wonderful.
I like, you'd abuse your powers, and I know you would, because you told me you would.
Yeah.
You told
How
me.
dare you use
Every-
my words
every
against
time
me? Why?
You said, "Oh, if I had moderator," you'd immediately then go into how you'd abuse it.
Yes. Every
Immediately.
single time. So I don't think we can trust you.
If I had moderator, I'd just ban everybody.
I like, they criticize my art. Ban. A problem
No, I
so
never said that,
Bino.
goddamn.
You were thinking it though.
No.
He laughs because he was.
People calling me gay for having gay dreams about having sex with
Bino.
men.
We
Man.
don't speak about those tribes here.
We don't speak about your gay dreams.
Did you guys see that? You might have talked about this, but I heard that someone say that Space Marine 2 got leaked. Is that true?
Yeah, dude.
Wait, Wait, what's happening to Space Marine 2 now?
An early build of the game actually was leaked. So for Space Marine 2, Spunk Marines, Spunk
Oh, boy.
Marines,
Bung.
and apparently from what I heard, and bear in mind I only heard from like one source.
This is hearsay.
So I heard that it's pretty good.
I thought it was going to look good from what I've seen from the gameplay, from the trailers, right? But my only worry about that game is that like not everyone has like a PC that's a transformer, you know. My power PC is not like I can't. I only have so many banks to rob before the police catch up to me, so I can buy new PC parts to get me.
You funny boy. So, is the campaign fully co-op? I've never gotten a fucking straight answer on this.
I've not
I
heard
think-
anything about that.
I think the story mode like is a single player campaign, and then there's cooperative missions. Or is that the way? It says don't pre-order, says Slutbadon. I'm a YouTuber. I always pre-order.
He pre-orders
It is
so
a
you don't
good-
have to.
It is a good idea to not pre-order though, unless you're absolutely sure that you're gonna like the product. Don't reward them for delivering mediocre products.
Oh yeah. I mean, the thing is, the reason why I pre-order shit, and I've said this before, but for new people, I pre-order it because our intent is always to stream it day of release, and if it's bad, I get my mum back.
It's
ASAP.
literally your job to show the new thing, the new games.
Beyond the whole pre-order to play early thing, apparently that has been proven to be wildly successful.
What has been?
If you pre-order, you get to play the game earlier.
Yeah, no, this is cancer. So they got us in a hard place. I haven't pre-ordered it yet. I don't think. Apparently, I thought I did. Huh. Well, I know I have to.
$90
That's
But how
disgusting.
much?
But
for the advanced access.
So,
$90.
this, unfortunately, and this is disgusting. As a content creator, getting early access is literally incredibly important. 4 days ahead of full release, like, oh my god, I hate that. And I have to shell out fucking $89. Just blow my little brains out. Fuck, that's awful.
Does it give you anything besides that? Oh, it looks like it might.
All this shit, who cares about? Like, season pass? Fucking, I don't care about any of that shit. Like, man, like, this is the part of that is disgusting. This shit right here. Gold edition, ultra edition. The game's not even fucking out. And it has a gold edition, ultra edition. This shit is disgusting. This part I actually just fucking dislike. And then having a pre-order bonus to boot. Pre-order bonus, what that just means is cut content.
Craig's chosen you. I bet you that's just a cosmetic color swap.
You know, that's just fucking awful. Like, I just, like this. This is unnecessary. Like, this is disgusting. In the industry, as developers, I've decided, and I've decided this for a while, that I think it's time for people to stop this shit. Like, this shit's awful. Like, this is terrible because every content creator under the sun sees this and is like, oh, gotta do it. And I don't blame them, because I gotta do it too. But fuck, man, $89? Wow. That's fucking such a scam.
Yeah.
And as a content creator, it's like you live and breathe fucking early access shit. Fuck, I hate
So,
that.
so even ignoring the Alexa, they're saying their season pass, which will be, we'll
There's
say
going to
3
be
things
more
of
content
DLC.
to throw later.
It's
We'll say
more
3
DLC.
things of DLC. Well, so they're saying that's worth. It's $90, so it's 60 normally. They're saying that's worth $30.
Now, mind you, the original Space Marine didn't really have additional content, did it?
It did, but it was
It did.
multiplayer.
Yeah, it was solely multiplayer. They didn't add any like story content. So
Yeah.
let's say you're not
Oh, yeah,
really interested in
wasn't it-
playing multiplayer. What value would you get out of the season pass?
No idea if they even announced what the season pass content will be.
Viably, most of the time it's just skins that they add to the.
So
that
and
they
it
add
is
the
gonna have a
campaign.
versus mode again.
Well, they have a versus
Oh,
mode
no.
and they have a 3-player cooperative mode.
The issue I have with this is like we had like Gears of War, right? And I think they still use the best like 3D third-person shooter for, because like you can play for 3 friends. The campaign.
3
It's very
was
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
3 is
And-
probably the best Gears.
And then like they just had to copy the formula and change the universe, add new mechanics, new enemies and stuff like that. And I don't see most
Is the horde mode
companies
back?
doing it.
I don't know. I assume that it's going to be baked into the co-op mode, operations, whatever it's called. It has co-op for its campaign and a multiplayer mode, but still think it's a lot of money to fork out for the other editions. It is. It's absurd. Like, okay, so you want to know my honest opinion, and this is an opinion that I don't know if it's unpopular or not. I would think it would be popular, but I you know, maybe I'm out of touch. But here's my opinion, right? Games shouldn't be $60. That's over fucking priced. And they know it. The industry knows it. There's no reason to charge $60. There never has been. Games should actually be 40 USD now because of the fact that everything's digital. 40 bucks. This game should be $40. $40 should be the standard AAA price for a video game. Nothing over 60. Nothing over 40. Not only that, but this gold edition shit, the season pass shit, should just be free updates. You shouldn't have to pay for that. That's just milking people. Like, make solid games. Don't make cut content, because the season pass is cut content, as far as I'm concerned. All it would take for them is to delay the game a little bit and then bake it into the game and then they're done. This season pass shit is just awful. I hate that shit.
Okay,
I still
so
remember.
the McCragg's chosen DLC
Nothing's complete
is
anymore. Nothing's complete.
skins for your sword and bolter and your pauldrons.
So what the season pass
Yeah,
tells me is we're
figured.
buying an early access game, by the way. So not only is this game actually not releasing with all its content, but apparently some of it's not even finished for the game. So they have a season pass, and they're going to slowly drip feed in the remaining stuff via patches. Then they have cut content, which is just skins and cosmetics, which again, why isn't it in the base game? Why are you strong-arming people into having to buy it? Like, that's just awful. And then again, cut content, cosmetics. Like,
Yeah.
there's no excuse for it anymore. Like, I've long since changed my opinion as I've grown older, because as I've started to work on stuff in games and talk to other developers, and I know more about the industry as an adult, like, this shit is, there's no reason for it anymore. There's no reason for it. Like, games do it all the time. Like, Helldivers 2 does it because it's a live service game. And if it's a live service game and it tells me it's a live service game, whatever, right? And to be fair to Helldivers 2, you can actually just unlock it by playing the game. You don't even need to pay money, right? So, okay,
Yeah.
good.
There's
But-
still many people that think it's pay to win.
It isn't pay to win. But the reality is that it's just pretty grindy in order to get those things. If you don't like grinding, right? If you don't enjoy the gameplay loop.
You know,
'Cause that's
you know
always
what's
the
the
big thing.
easiest way to get all the fucking gear in Helldivers? You don't play on the hardest difficulty. Play in the lowest, so you can go into the random locations on the map and get the random chance of dropping super credits.
Yeah,
Yep.
because the super credit chance does not
Yep.
get adjusted by difficulty, right?
Man, this
I
sucks.
don't believe it does.
I still remember when the $60 price for games was justified by, oh, this is because we have to increase the cost because of physical media for like
yeah, cost of
discs and stuff.
copies, cost of transportation.
And they even claimed it'll be cheaper digital only, and for a while it was cheaper digital when it was purely digital, but now it's just everything's at 60.
Yes, but here's the reason though.
They massively
Why,
bloated the cost.
why voluntarily lower your price?
Yeah.
That's their thought process. Here's the issue I see with that long term. I see it going the way of Blockbuster.
It's already
for
Also,
those of you who
not
are
all areas donate $20. Say just sending another 20 for Alan Wake Fund. Thank you for your donation.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mother.
Yeah, but for those of you who don't remember or don't know what Blockbuster was, it was a video rental service, also video games. It used to be pretty cheap. Then they raised their prices. And so some people stopped going. And they kind of kept doing that until it
Oh
got
my
stupid
God.
expensive. It was like $20 to rent
You
a
mean
game.
this thing that
Hold on a
Games Workshop
second.
is currently doing through themselves?
I'm covering my screen chat. We've got some. Oh my god, shit, dude. Oh my fucking god. Hold on,
What
let me
is
read
that?
this. What do you fucking think, chat? Holy shit!
Oh, CNC.
Take a look at this. Take a look. Hold on, chat. We're coming back. Coming back to you live, chat. Woo! Look at this shit. This is from the CNC game. So I got a message from the Master Henchman Chatfish, who took a picture of it. This is the infantry unit. Do you see some plagiarism here?
I look at that.
I see Halo, I see Gears of,
No,
Gears of
it's
War.
The gun.
Halo.
Yeah, the helmet looks kinda ODST.
Oh
Yeah,
my
the
god.
CNC looks like ODST
No,
to me, like-
ignore
gun,
that.
yes,
The
that's
armor
the
doesn't
first
matter.
thing.
No, I know the
gun
gun is Gears.
Is
The gun
literally Gears of War.
Because it doesn't even fit. Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's fucking funny. They stole a. I'm surprised. Yeah, no. Apparently they're not even sued for this. Yeah, this is the state of Command & Conquer, by the way. But look at that fucking gun, Chatfish. That fucking gun is just Gears of War.
It's just the fucking Lancer.
That
It's a
developer is
Lancer.
Chinese, isn't it?
That's
I'm not
so
sure.
creatively bankrupt. It hurts, dude.
There's one thing like that with the whole like getting inspiration between and slash copying, like there comes a point where it's very hard to create new stuff, but you can still get inspiration from something and not be a complete
There's a
What's the
difference
copyright?
between inspiration and just flat out just copy paste.
Yeah.
So you looking at a picture and saying, I want to draw this, freehand drawing this by referencing is a different thing that I just got to paint over the line.
Let me just Control C, Control V.
Like, I can't make. I see that they changed some of the silhouette and shape of the weapon, like it's more squared from looks of it. So they changed the homework a little bit, but the reality is that it's one of those things where it's like. But I can probably tell you why Microsoft isn't suing at the moment, because Microsoft probably doesn't want to waste money on it right now and doesn't really care. But it's one of those. Well, actually, Microsoft owns the license for Gears of War. That's right. Yes, because the coalition.
Well, they haven't noticed it yet.
They might not. Well, the thing is, they'll only take action once it gets egregious, because again, it costs money. Right? Like, look at Pal World and Pokemon. Did Pokemon sue Pal World?
they wouldn't be able to
No,
win, though.
because most of the pals were also distinct enough that a lawsuit would have been very.
So
The only
I can't make
one-
out this image very well. The silhouette, like the big thing is the gun, the ammo storage location, and the like the magazine. The box sort of looks like Gears, and this part right here, and like this whole section of the front part of the gun looks like it, but the back part, like, it is different. So the question is, you have to then ask yourself, is it? I don't think it's just flat out the same rifle. They changed it a little bit.
Here,
But
I
it's
post
basically not at all. But yeah.
I posted on chat the Gears lens.
Gosh darn it, making me have to cover my
There is a few differences, yeah.
Boo, bee, boo, boo.
Look
Okay.
at Giggles art.
I was looking for some Giggles art last night. Because somebody was asking about it. Yeah, okay, so here we go. Now we switch
It's one of those
screens.
things, just because it's the chainsaw at the front, people immediately think.
Well, Gears of War is known for the Lancer. The Lancer is like the gun for Gears of War.
The iconic
It's
weapon.
the iconic weapons.
I would argue that maybe the Hammer of Dawn a little bit also.
No,
but like mostly
No.
the-
No.
No, when people think Gears, the first gun they think is the Lance.
Yeah, so
No, no,
that's
yeah, yeah.
distinctly different now that I look at it. Like, it is different, especially with the shape of it. Like, it just looks better here. You can obviously, but you obviously can tell. No, you don't see that.
Wait,
yet.
is
wrong
that
one.
actually a pop gun you can buy of the Lancer?
I'm gonna show chat concept art for things that they're not supposed to see. Like, what would you have, bud? Don't worry about it. Ask me questions.
Yeah, it's a different shape for the saw blade part, but why even
it
have
got,
the
like,
saw
little-
blade part?
It's got a little like wire going on.
Yeah, I mean,
Barrel's a bit
it's
shorter too.
it's different enough. Like, it's fine. Like it's lazy, yes, but it's not going to get them sued. It's just creatively bankrupt. It also doesn't fit the Command and Conquer universe because the Global Defense Initiative using chainsaw rifles like just doesn't
Not
really
militias, maybe, but
like it doesn't really fit their MO. Nor does it even fit Nods. Nods uses more like chem stuff. Like the only thing this would fit would actually be the Forgotten faction, which never really materialized in any of the games properly.
and even they are more known for using old equipment than stuff
relics
like that.
from the other Tip Wars, the first Tip War. Huh, well, that's kind of cringe, but it's also, it's
Very modern day.
lazy design.
Another thing I noticed on the whole Command and Conquer thing is how train soldiers, and then you can pay premium currency to train them instantly.
Oh yeah, down here. Well, it's a fucking mobile game. All these mobile games are like that because the whole thing is to be like, pay your premium coins for instant training, or wait like blank amount of time for it to train. It's all about hiding gameplay behind time because there are so interesting thing about mobile game design philosophy: make a good or fun game, but lock a lot of it behind time gates, so that you incentivize the player to to purchase premium currency to get past these time gates. So, for example, the Dungeon Keeper mobile game was actually pretty fun.
Ooh.
But you had to mod out all the time gated shit in order to actually have fun with the game. Because behind it was actually a fun game. Have you actually played it, Fairbear?
I did not touch that for many reasons.
My dad and
I
basically, we just like, there's a version of it that's basically cracked or whatever, but you could just play the game without the time gauge shit, and it just plays like Dungeon Keeper. I'm sure that's still out there. You might as well find it and just Google it and find it. It's actually worth playing. No, it is good. It was actually fun. Remember, Fairman, you need to remove your bigoted thought process. Mobile games aren't actually bad. The big thing that makes them bad is that often they're made with... Stop interrupting. They're made with time-gated bullshit. Because often those games do have some endearing factors. So they play like mobile... Like, I played some back when I was littler, and I don't play them anymore, because I'd rather... Like, why would I? Like, if you have better access to better games, you're just not going to go back usually. But the thing is, they aren't as what you'd expect them to be. They're not like Facebook games or Facebook app games, if you remember those things.
Mm-hmm.
Times have changed in terms of quality.
I mean, as someone that recently got forced into playing a gacha, I can tell you.
You played a gacha,
things...
Fairman. A gacha is not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but they are mobile gacha.
Yeah, but
So
okay, so
have...
Fairman, stop. Okay, I need to explain this to you because you're an old man and you're slow. So when it comes to a platform has a wide variety of genres. It's not just one thing like gachas. Gachas are notorious because there's a lot of weebs in our audience. And these weebs constantly talk about it.
See, the thing was, it was a mobile game, and that thing did that time gating thing as well.
A lot of them do it, but the thing is, the reason why people normally play these or engage with them, Fairman, is because normally there is a good game buried under it. For example,
there is sometimes.
Just to point out your hypocrisy, Fairman, War Thunder.
Hypocrisy.
War Thunder, you said yourself, is a good game mired by...
The monetization and the grind.
There you
Just
go.
like in some gacha games with some other mobile
I never said it. I never said it's not that a game like this can't be good. That game I got quote unquote forced to play.
Well, okay, hold on a second. Forced
Yeah.
to play here, big baby. Somebody probably asked you to play it, and you just like, okay, I'll play it.
No, people were pestering me for what?
Okay.
For 3 or so months.
Pestering you, Fairman? You're telling me you're so weak-willed that somebody can just be like, Phoebe, do this thing for me, and you'll be like, okay.
No, because I'm actually nice, and people.
You're not. That's bullshit. I've
not?
asked him to do shit with me, Chatfish, and sometimes he just fucking doesn't do jack diddly.
Alright, you know what? If I'm not nice, you know what? I want you to remove all of the emotes I did for you.
Look at him now. He's gonna play the whole
Yeah.
"I'm taking my ball and going home."
Yeah, you're making my
When he gets a little bit of criticism, can you believe
God.
this childish behavior?
No, you said I'm not nice. When have I ever been nothing but the most pleasant individual
See,
in
you
this
do
entire
nice
group?
things, but sometimes you lock up and you do that old man thing where you're like, "I'm an old man now, and I'm gonna be grumpy and a stick in the mud."
Hey, I am not grumpy. I'm just
I'm not grumpy.
I just want to lay on the ground and let the moss reclaim me. Leave me alone.
Let the boss reclaim.
Little whiny baby bear.
He's like, "Let me
Sorry.
return to the German soil."
Yeah.
Wake
Let
me,
my blood return to my soil.
wake me up in the next Reich, please.
Wake me up when the Fourth Reich rises.
Break me up before you go.
Was that a rake me up?
Rake me up. I'm taking a bit from our former allies. For-
But yeah.
But yeah, no, there is good mobile games. That with
Well,
good
the thing is,
mechanics.
I personally don't really care for mobile games, but I also understand that there's an appeal there, and the appeal exists for a reason. There's a reason why the mobile game market is literally dominating the industry.
Everyone has a phone. That's why.
No,
Don't
it's
you
not
have
just that.
phones?
No, okay, I will
Don't
give like my opinion on this real quick. Is like the thing is not just that everyone has a phone. Is that like it was both the mobile games got a little bit better because a lot of people still have the whole like mobile games are Facebook games because back in the day, back 10 years ago, that's what they were, you know. But they started getting better. They became like PS1 games. They became PS2 games, you know, kind of.
I am willing to
no.
disagree
And meanwhile, what did the console games and like PC games became outside of indies? Most of it became like movie games. And if you don't like a movie game, I don't like it. You end up like, man, I have nothing to play. You get me?
What?
And it's like one got better, the other got worse, Fairman. Is
You-
the whole
Wait,
yeah.
you said PC and console games becoming all movie games.
Most like AAA nowadays are movie. Like
Yes,
what do
but
you
that
call
is
the
a
Last of
AAA.
Us?
That is a AAA problem. But
Yeah,
there
that's
is
why-
also the problem
Did you
that
forget?
there is also the
didn't-
problem that the mobile game oftentimes gets not developed because people don't sit down on a mobile game. They're all gonna play this for 4 hours. Most people play this on the commute to work or when they wait for something. This is why these games are inherently a lot more cut into
Not
pieces.
always. by
Not
the way.
always, but not always. I'm not saying that, but this way, a game like EDF would be very easy to turn into a mobile game. You don't even need to change it much. But the most cinematic thing is the thing with PC has all this power and we have all of this stuff and we're gonna go for the cinematic experience. That is a mindset thing. With mobile,
Well, that's console too.
as someone that talks with people that quote unquote scour the mobile stuff for reasons that are completely I cannot understand them. Many mobile games are just flat out copy paste.
Yeah.
Many of them are just the same shovelware and
Okay, but which were the
there,
ones
there
that are
isn't much
dominating the
left.
market?
You're
But, like-
talking about the few good ones. Now I am
Yeah,
dismantling your argument
All right,
with
so
have you looked at the few good games that don't do the cinematic stuff
when
on
it
PC?
when it comes to that, like this is a dumb conversation because
It is a dumb conversation.
the reality is this, right? Most games on PC are bad. Most games on console are bad.
Yeah.
Most games on mobile are bad. The same rule applies to all three platforms. There's some good ones, and then there are few great ones, and that's just how that works.
And with the the most casual gamers you have usually on mobile and casual. And I'm not trying to give casual gamers shit here.
Well, no,
But casuals do not have the-
difference, Fairman, is that there's just a larger pool of people and there's a
Yes.
larger pool of content getting made, and because games are shorter and smaller experiences, they get made more.
Yeah, again, there is
See,
also
Blake
the
is
thing that
Blake is poking fun at you, Fairman, because he says the games I like equal good and base. The games
That
you like
is-
equal bad and cringe.
Yeah.
that is first. That is, I'm pretty sure it's not get me because I'm the first person that I like RimWorld. Have I ever said RimWorld is a good game? I hate RimWorld, but I also like it. Warfront is the same thing, so you cannot solve
This
that. at me. I'm
sounds
the
like
first one-
cope.
I am the first person to admit that many of the games I like are shit.
I think we've got him right where we want him, Chatfish.
So, Fairman, you're saying your taste in games is bad?
Yeah,
No, I'm just saying that
You
are allowed to
admitted.
like bad games.
that's not the point of the conversation now, is it? You're using my.
All right, Kips. If my taste
Position
in
on
paint is bad,
things.
then why did I like Helldivers?
See, Fairman.
Broken clock right twice a day.
Yeah. Thanks.
He also said he also said that.
This is
in
now
past
the
tense.
this has become the Fair Bear Bully session. Everybody take turns. Chatfish, form a orderly queue.
Also, Fairman, if you're
If
so
I
nice,
can bully
why were you
Fairmere, I would like to
tricking
say the
people?
eco's bad.
What am I tricking people?
Why were you tricking people to getting Dawn of War 3?
Fair
Hey,
Bear.
wait.
You
That is
did
not
do
me
that.
tricking then, yes, and that has nothing to do with games. That has anything to do with me being a cruel bitch.
But yeah, so what happened to your whole? Oh, I am nice.
Yeah, to people I care for.
I think Fair Bear
Fairman,
just
you're
got caught
just, you're just
red-handed.
saying what you're going to the whole like I'm going to say whatever I need to say at the time to try to get away from the problem,
Nah,
and then you're driving yourself into newer problems. You know, just stick to
Albine,
narrative.
do you really want to go down the path of? Oh yes, people not making consistent arguments, Mister. Can't say this on stream.
You literally ignored what I said earlier and like said
What did I
like something
ignore?
that I literally said that outside of indies and some other games, most like AAA games. Why did I focus on AAA games? Because I'm focused on the games that are going to reach the widest audience. You get what I mean? Like in marketing or in name recognition and stuff like that. You get what I mean? Because some of the best games ever don't get a big audience because they don't reach that audience.
Yes.
You know, and so that's why I was focusing on the ones that reach the big audiences that compete with the mobile game. You get what I mean?
But the thing is, I'm
And
pretty
then you-
sure
and then-
mobile
and then you-
doesn't
and then you
have a
ignored all
AAA
that.
market.
What? Sorry.
Some mobile games do have a huge market.
Yeah, like
marketing thing.
they have huge marketing, Fairman. There's a reason
Like
a lot
Raid
of
Shadow
people...
Legends.
Oh, holy shit! Yeah, that one. Yeah. And,
Oh,
and
that's
we're-
all. But yeah.
oh my god. Yeah.
But most mobile games are ultimately relatively single. I'm pretty sure you're not gonna get a mobile game that is on the level of a Hearts of Iron or a Stellaris. I don't think you really get that on mobile.
Hearts of Iron is horrible though. Like, oh my
That-
god, like I want a
It's
game.
not horrible.
And now we're going.
Like,
And now we're
okay,
going for
no,
my
No,
game.
Fairman,
you're
Bino,
getting-
Bino,
you're
Bino,
literally-
stop. You, don't start fucking just spewing stuff, okay? Hearts of Iron is not a bad game. Like, that is not even up for discussion. It's a game with flaws, but it's not a bad game.
No, but it's one of those things like it's a niche game, and we are not talking.
No,
about niche games,
it's not a niche
yeah.
game anymore. I'm sorry. It's gone
Hearts of
mainstream.
Iron.
Yes,
It's the best game ever made, according to Kevin.
no, it's not. Like,
Okay,
unironically
I
control
got
yourself, Squilly. Like, the thing is, when it comes to this, like, do you know how mainstream Hearts of Iron is now?
It has 200,000
It's
positive
one of-
reviews. That means it has at least 1 million people that play that
It
game.
is one of their most popular games.
Yeah, it went mainstream when basically people started making like meme videos of it, and it literally just like exploded. It's what blew
it's
Paradox into the
okay.
limelight. Besides CK, it like exploded into the market.
Unironically, it would go Hearts of Iron 4, then like CK.
Hearts of Iron, no,
Maybe.
Paradox is not niche anymore. I will hear none of this Chatfish brew
I
nonsense.
do think CK is a bit more popular than.
CK is more popular.
CK
than
is
Hearts
more
of Iron.
popular, yes,
Yeah.
because it's the most
Well-
approachable Paradox game.
I've heard about Crusader Kings a lot of times. Like the only people I hear talking about Hearts of Iron are like you guys and other group of friends that I have. That there's one guy that's like.
Yeah, if you want
likes
to talk
Hearts
about
of Iron,
niche
yeah.
titles under their umbrella, you start talking about Victoria 2 and Europa Universalis. Those are normally the more niche titles, but even then, they're already blown into the limelight. Like, the age of Paradox being obscure is not niche.
Yeah.
I
It-
disagree,
like,
but I
the thing is, had you talked to us like a decade ago, yeah. But like these games are not niche anymore. Like they're like literally you can catch like fucking e-thoughts playing fucking Europa Universalis now.
Unironically,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Which is actually
yeah.
extremely funny to me.
Okay, I'm going to look for it. then.
You
Also-
didn't know that? Like there's like several of this like
Well-
cases of this happening.
Yep.
You look at
Very-
this channel, Gibbs and thought.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Just
No,
because I have a
If I
female
search
avatar
for it and
doesn't
I
mean
found
shit.
you-
He's
Al-
an
also,
he's an e-escort.
Also, like the game says, how you not niche? It's not niche anymore. It doesn't mean it's mainstream, no, but you can be not niche and not be a mainstream either. You can be widely successful without being a big mainstream title.
Yep. Because the
Okay,
thing is,
I-
like Total War isn't niche either anymore. Like they're more niche in terms of genre scale, yes, because the strategy market
Yeah.
is not nearly as big, but they are entering the Sid Meier's fucking levels, where
hey,
it's a
look at-
household name now.
Look
I
at
agree
the
with you, no,
look at this stream's
ahead.
topical game EDF. That is not a mainstream title, but it's also definitely no longer a niche title.
Yeah, no, Earth Defense Force. When I first streamed it to my audience fucking like Chatfish. You guys were kind of mixed on it. I remember because when we streamed Earth Defense Force the first time, people were like, "What the fuck is this?" Or like, "This is cringe," and stuff like that. Like, you guys were not adaptive because for quite a while I was the only one that actually like played Earth Defense Force in the community and the group. Because like I played EDF 2017 and when we bought that, I remember like when Tyler and I were playing it, we're like, this is fucking retarded. But like as you start playing, you just start getting addicted to it and like, oh, actually it's
The
retarded
music, the
but
dialogue,
good.
the gameplay.
Like it just becomes better and better the more you play it, and then it's like, oh, okay, and you start to connect with it, right? When I streamed Earth Defense Force 4.1 to Chatfish, their Chatfish reactions were very all over the board in terms of what the fuck they were looking at. 4.1 I think was the point in which EDF was starting to go a little bit more popular, because it was also when it finally got a proper PC release. And then by the time 5 rolled around, 4.1 was niche, but a lot of people were starting to say nice things about it. When 5 hit the market, that's when EDF really got traction among PC gamers. And that's also why there was a lot of hype towards it. Like EDF 6 even has like VTuber e-thoughts in it and its promotional material now.
I mean, they always had that, but not to that degree.
Yeah, no, but they have straight up e-thoughts like that they paid and bought to basically
Yeah.
say stuff.
The popular VTubers people.
Yep, they got 3
by
of
the way,
them,
the
I think.
Japanese version has different VTubers, and someone is not happy about that.
Also, 4.1 had the best songs.
4.1
Yeah,
does have the
It
best
also
songs.
had the best scientist.
4.1 story is just the best because it's so stupid. 4.1 takes place, I think, in the main storyline, and 5 is the new timeline, and 6 is also on the new timeline.
I don't know, Kips. I think EDF 6 storyline has a potential to be even more retarded than 4.1.
But that's my point, though, right?
Yeah.
They were able to get money to do all these things because they have that thing. Kind of hate that gaming went mainstream. It went mainstream years and years ago. It was mainstream when I grew up. When I grew up in high school, I was in high school like 2010,
bullied for not playing
11,
games.
12. Like, no, you didn't get no, that's not true. But
No?
everyone
Okay.
played video games. The jocks did, the fucking
Yep,
the
to
girls
some
did.
degree. They might not have all played the same
Like
games.
I
but they did all
remember
play.
there was a couple of girls that I was sitting next to that I remember talking about World of Warcraft with because they played World of Warcraft too, as well. Like everyone played World of Warcraft. Everyone played, you know, like Xbox 360. Everyone was playing like Halo 3 and stuff. Like this was pretty normal. Halo Reach, like stuff like that.
Halo was the big like
Modern
big
Warfare
one.
2, Black Ops, Blops, as everyone kept calling it in school. Like stuff like that. Like everybody talked about it. Like even in the computer room. Like, and I grew up in a school that was like, you know, it's in the Midwest, it's sort of out in the middle of nowhere. Like kids would bring flash drives, and like I would bring flash drives and have like a game loaded on it, and then I would pass it to all the other kids. And so then what we would do is install it on the computer. It got so rampant that our literally the counselor and like other teachers would join in. There were some like Catholic teachers like, don't play anything with violence in it, but when the counselor was in there, they would never stop us from playing and these games were old at the time because those were old XP computers.
I remember get to play
I know. But
Red Alert and LAN. On
But we put on
computer
those
thing.
thumb drives, we put Quake 3 because it was old enough to, and it would run on those computers, and Return to Castle Wolfenstein, as well as Warzone 2100, because those games would run off flash drives very quickly and very well.
See, the last game I played before I went out of school, I remember that was the first Call of Duty that just came out. I bought it in the winter before I got out of school.
More gold, Your Majesty.
PSU donates 15 North Korean bucks, says, Kids, Arma 3 can't be seen as niche because TV channels have used it for fake war footage. I never said that Arma 3 was niche. Arma 3 actually has a huge, player base now, I think, because of all the mods.
I
The
think
mods
I-
and channels like certain channels that do the funnies. The problem is, which is also leading to people having a different expectation of something like Arma, which makes some of the old Arma fans very upset because you get a lot of people that play the game very different. It's
play
a
for
whole
how
thing where,
funny and not
yeah,
play
it's a thing where
serious.
it was definitely a very niche thing. Then it became popular, and now the old fans are kind of sitting there, great. Now we have to deal with the influx of people that are not really wanting to play the game we played for all the years. It got popular, and now there's a bit of a split in the community.
Yep, that has its downsides. And the popularization of series and franchises is it can be a blessing depending on how it happens, or a negative aspect.
Yeah.
A blessing because the popularization of like the survival genre or the open world sort of sandbox genre saw many good games born out of it as a byproduct of its existence, and that was popularized by Minecraft. Like offshoots like Terraria started appearing, and then you had offshoots like Ark. And I don't like Ark, but some people do, so that was something good for them. And then things like Valheim and Project Zomboid and other things started to appear because that basically got a lot more eyes on the genre and more people were making games. Now, there was a lot of copycats that just copied, the big dogs, but there was also a lot of people trying to push the genre and innovate and build on top of it. The same can be said for the logistics sims like Factorio, right? Factorio comes along and builds it, but it's satisfactory, 3D, but it's, it doesn't go as far. But then there's other ones like Mind Factory or Min Factory or whatever, I can't remember. And then there's like other
Industries.
Yeah, Mindustry, and there's other spin-offs of that sort of logistics factory style like gameplay because of that. The population.
It's still more of a niche title, but yeah.
Yeah, it's still niche, but it gained in traction and popularity. Because it gained in traction and popularity, there's now more content and media being created there. Now, it's not always a net positive thing either, because the popularization of things can also be bad too, right?
There's that phrase or / joke or whatever that is when someone really pisses you off. Oh, I hope the thing you like gets popular. It sounds good, but that is actually a bit of a curse. It's like that. May you live in interesting times, because that is not actually a good thing.
Or like cursing them
But
to 1,000 years of German suffering.
I think that like what I think is niche
I mean,
and
the
what
entirety
I
of the
think is
German
niche
existence.
is different, because I would say that a lot of these games that we're talking about, they're still niche. They have a bigger niche now, but I wouldn't call them mainstream.
Nobody
Yeah,
said
I
that mainstream. They're
No, not.
more
You-
popular.
But
They're
they,
no longer
well, no,
niche.
they've gone more mainstream. Like, okay, so when you see like the thing, let's imagine a scale, right? And on the scale, you have super niche games like Vicky 2 or things like that before Paradox got popular, right? Before Paradox, before EU4, before Hearts of Iron 4, before those CK2, before those bigger popular titles, Hearts of Iron 2, Hearts of Iron 1. Victoria 1, Victoria 2, that era, Europa Universalis 3. That
I mean, that's literally a qualifier.
that was
in
when
that.
Paradox was on the very far left of that scale, the very niche side of it. And as time went on, as its community grew and as its games grew, it slid further and further towards the right, where the more popular, more focused. And it grew. Same for Total War. Total War was the same way. Shogun and Medieval 1 were like board games. Rome 1 blew Total War into the limelight. Rome 1 is what broke Total War into popularity. And then Medieval 2 compounded on that. And then there was a lot of expectations for Empire and stuff like that. And even though it failed, it didn't do very well, the franchise continued to expand. Rome 2 is still the best-selling Total War, as far as I'm aware, to date. That's a case in point. So, like, genres expand as over time. That has positives and negatives, right? There's not everything is always bad. Not everything is always good. There's normally an upside and a downside to everything, right? The upside of Paradox being more popular is the quality and polish of certain aspects of their stuff has gotten a lot better. The downsides is that they're no longer adhering to feedback as good as they used to, or as well, because they're less interested in feedback and the vocal points and vocality.
There's more money to be made. You get a lot more. So you get a lot more people that are just in it for just sheer money. So it gets, the moment you get money, you get a lot of, I don't even want to say vultures, but the whole CEO issue where, oh, this guy doesn't give a shit. He's just there to make money that looks good on his resume to go to the next thing. And then they just run that shit into the ground.
Absolutely. If games get popular, says Jaeger Rants, due to being... Oh, no, I read that. Yeah, good. Making sure I read the super duper. If games get popular due to being big, good, it's good. If it's popular by abandoning what it was, then it suck. Well, I'm trying to think of, like, a counterpoint to that. Like, is there a case of a game abandoning what it was and improving because of it?
There's an argument to be made that there's things that get popular being good, and then they decide we want... okay, we need to grow. We need to grow. We are now being bigger. We're now public traded. Now we're getting more people. Less with the growth. It's a whole thing that's natural with something with growth. It gets bloated, and maybe you get a CEO, and then you get to the issue I mentioned earlier. So you can get popular by being good, but you can always go back. You cannot really prevent that because old people leave, the good people leave, new people come in, and there may be little shits. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they just look, oh, it's gonna be a lot of money. So just look at how many old game studios gone to shit, and not even necessarily due to what's the word, publishers fucking with it. Oftentimes it's just because the good people leave. Not even for any bad reasons. Maybe they have a family, maybe they're gonna have a job, maybe they want to do their own stuff.
Maybe they're retired. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
Now go ahead, Spilly.
There are quite a lot of games that fail on their initial release, and then will re-release later under the same IP, but be a completely different kind of game, and will succeed then afterwards.
Helldivers, that one didn't fail, but the first Helldivers
didn't
really
do amazing. It was just kind of like an arcade shooter.
That is a good point, actually. Helldivers 1 to 2, really, yeah. Because
I was also thinking of Lords of the Fallen. So the original Lords of the Fallen was a really ass Souls game, a Souls-like game. It was fucking awful. They did a re-release, a new release with the same IP. It's still not good, but significantly better, and had significantly better reception than the original did.
Because sometimes what we see here normally is the case is that it's a new game, right? So Helldivers 1 was originally a twin-stick style arcade game designed around 15-minute to an hour like playtime. Helldivers 2 is like, it's actually short. It's around like 45-minute missions, but designed around the aspect that you're going to be playing it a lot longer and more dedicated than you ever would before. And it stopped being a couch co-op game. It doesn't have couch co-op capabilities. But that's not because couch co-op is not a thing that developers really worry about anymore, because like the console and the internet has sort of killed couch co-op. Sadly. That is sad, in my opinion. You're sad too.
EDF still has it.
Some games still have it, yes. But
I'm not
couch
sad
co-op
because
functionality
couch co-op-
is disappearing.
I would say one thing: couch co-op disappearing is saving so many friendships. Because I lost.
Oh my god, your ineptitude with your friends is your problem.
If Mario Kart is the fault, man.
Mario Kart is the fault, man.
Yeah.
Helldivers 1 was also made for the PlayStation Portable.
Blake, are you
PS
proud of
PS
yourself,
PS
Blake?
Wait, that was PSP? No, that was for the Vita then, because the PSP.
You see, Mario Party shows your true colors as what kind of person you are. That's why every friend group should play Mario Kart together.
I have no idea how it ruined your guys' friendship. Like, I played the CTR
people are
Crash
petty.
Bandicoot racing game. I played fucking Mario Kart. I played Mario Party with friends, and it never once ruined a friendship, nor did Super Smash Bros.
Keep in mind,
Like, you guys just not know how to play with each other? You guys just not...
Keep in mind, Mario Kart literally has a system built in that if you're losing your last place, you can literally fuck up the person in first place. You're not gonna win because of that.
Oh,
and that is a thing some people.
That's a
will
lot
take
of games
very-
now. No,
Yeah,
To
but that is the thing
specify
many
what
people take personally.
Spearman is talking about, Mario Kart will give you, the player in last place, the ability to catch up by giving you a bullet bill or a blue shell. A blue shell hits anyone in first place, and a bullet bill accelerates you to the middle of the pack. Those aren't necessarily just to fuck over the person in first place.
No, the blue shell 100% is. Your last place, you have no chance of winning, but you can make the person currently in first place lose. First place. That is literally just there to
Fairman,
fuck
if
them
that's
up.
the case, then why is it actually a strategy in a, it disgusts me to say this, competitive Mario Go-Kart to actually
yeah, see what disgusts you, yeah.
to actually, if you want to win the race, first become last place so you can get an item that nullifies every, and I do mean every, other power, including the blue shell.
Because
The idea is that you
was
collect.
red.
The idea is that you collect a bullet bill and then you grab a
See, I don't know enough,
or
but I
star
know
power,
people
and,
that-
and then you just use it to be immune to anything in the
Yeah.
in first place.
I mean, I don't know that much, but I know enough about competitive Nintendo scenes, and let me trust me, the people that play these games.
All right, Fairman, let's not fucking do
You're spurging.
generalizations of
Spurging.
everyone.
I don't even want to spurg. I just want to call those
Fairman,
shit at
you are
competitive
spurging.
players.
Typical
You are
Germans
spurging.
You don't want
to do this. You know,
You're-
Fairman, typical,
generalize people.
literally Germans, like that group of person, one of them like did this to me. Now they all need to be round up and we need to put little symbols on them. I was like, Fairman, no.
Going back to Mario Party. And
You
those
know what?
types
I'm
of games
gonna
now,
make sure you're gonna get a lot of competitive Nintendo players on your
Okay.
server. I'm just
Yeah,
telling
what
you, like,
thing
PC equivalent do we
You
even
big
have? Because I see people
baby.
saying Pummel Party, but is that it? Is it just Pummel Party?
Never
Pummel
heard of
Party.
Pummel Party.
Pummel Party is a similar game to Mario Party, and that's just it. It's just Mario Party with a different skin.
The more you know.
I think the thing is with these is many probably don't want to go under the market like that because they probably don't want to fight with Nintendo because they are very dominant with some of these games.
Well, they don't.
From
they
what
don't
it
have-
sounds
don't
like,
share their
though,
stuff.
is we need to get Fairman and Bino in a game of Pummel Party.
I
Yep.
don't want a party.
Well,
Uh-huh.
I think this does wrap up our stream about vocality. More or less, with being the primary subject. And to touch back to the beginning of the podcast, is we were talking about, why it's important to be vocal. And why you should be a noisy little chatfish and scream your little head off. Because it does actually affect change. Honestly.
Just make sure you stick with it after you've screamed your head off,
Yes. Don't...
or we'll get another EA2.
Oh, yeah.
EA Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2, yeah.
Thanks. Chatfish.
Welcome.
Like, shall we...
Seek you're welcome.
Alright, Chatfish, we're going to raid into the next stream, so we'll see you over there. Thank you again for your generous little Chatfishy donations, and have a good day, Chatfish. Goodbye.
Later.
Bye.
See
Goodbye
ya.
now.